have a look at this. Do you all feel the beauty of the thought in this advertisement? This is Zomato's ad for the day. Do you all feel the beauty of the idea of the thought behind this entire campaign? Yes or no? Just tell me if you understand the idea behind this. Now, do you see there are two different thoughts hidden in it? Do you see? And there are two different thoughts hidden in it. One is the idea of being independent, and second is the thought that is how to market yourself. On a beautiful occasion, how to market yourself. Okay. So when I'm talking about critical reasoning, when we are talking about critical reasoning, this chapter, it entails a definition, and that means thought behind a thought. I'll open my word file, CR. It is, in a layman's language, it is a thought behind the thought, or it is the thought behind a thought. If the Prime Minister presents an idea and he says that this is the policy, the moment he presents the policy, the opposition starts creating the hangama, the ruckus. Do you think that everything has a reason behind it? Yes or no? So whatever cause is there, whatever argument is there, people, they either accept or unaccept. So do you believe that there are a lot of thoughts involved in it? Yes or no? If the PM says tomorrow that Mr. Gandhi is doing the best he can to safeguard the Indian National Congress. Statement is said by the Prime Minister. Tomorrow the morning comes and he wakes up, and Mr. Prime Minister, he says this. Now, do you really believe that this is said in the good sense by the Prime Minister? I just want to ask you all. If the Prime Minister says this tomorrow, he talks to the media and he says this, do you believe that this is said in a good sense? Or do you believe there are a lot of thoughts involved in this statement? Yes. So it is not said in the good sense. That means there are a lot of thoughts involved in the hindsight. There are ulterior motives. Mark the word, ulterior motives. The entire theory of critical reasoning surrounds around an argument. There cannot be any critical reasoning, CR, situation without an argument. All right? An argument can save life. Do you believe an argument can save life? In a courtroom, do you believe that an argument can save life? Yes or no? Yes. Do you believe? Now keep on answering the question. Huh? I want the session to be interactive. Like I want to interact with you all. Do you want the session to be interactive or boring? I can take out the sheet. I can start explaining the question and we are done. Do you want this to happen? All of you? I can do it. But I really want to get inside the mind and the work. All right. So can we go through it? Do you all want me to be interactive with you all? Yes or no? Yes. Take it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the argument can save life in a courtroom. But if I say that the argument comprises of only one statement, will this statement be sufficient to prove an innocent guilty? Is only one statement sufficient to prove the person guilty? Or do you require a variety of ideas put together assertively? Then the jury believes that yes, this person could be innocent. Now, do you think that argument can be a one line, or there has to be a comprehensive set of ideas to the argument? One is sometimes की बात नहीं हो रही है, हम generic sentence की बात कर रहे हैं. Generic, let's not get emotional. I'm talking about in generic sense. Do you believe that the argument must be of only one line, or it will be a comprehensive set of ideas? Comprehensive, I guess. Comprehensive, no? Very nice, very nice. So, in the part of critical reasoning, there are three set of ideas involved here. To complete an argument, we require three prime pillars. So, what is the argument made of? Argument is a line of logical reasoning. which is advanced to prove anything true or maybe false. All right. It is a set of stated facts combined with some assumptions, which is proposed as a powerful tool to acknowledge something as right or wrong. That is the right definition of argument. Argument, it comprises of three prime pillars. First is a premise. Make sure you read it. Are you all making notes? Are you all making notes, bachcho? See, you can understand this. If you can take the screenshot, it's okay. Premise. So when I have to prove someone guilty or not guilty in the courtroom, do you believe I require a premise? That is a base. हिंदी में कहें तो इसको क्या बोलते हैं? आधार. आधार कार्ड की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. आधार मतलब बेस, नींव चाहिए. Like, do you believe that if I have to prove someone guilty in the courtroom or innocent, I need a base? Yes, we do need. So what exactly is premise? These are stated facts. These are the basic thoughts or set of events that are given on which we build a conclusion. Premises, when it concerns the questions in a CR, critical reasoning, the premise cannot be subjected to dispute. You cannot question the premise. Premise is generally accepted as something which is true or something which should be believed upon. Premise, it comes with a lot of facts. Facts का मतलब क्या होता है? What are facts? Any information that is verifiable is called a fact. There are personal facts, universal facts, general facts. All right. So premise is the base on which we build an argument, and that lead towards the conclusion. Is it clear? Types of facts. The sun rises in the east. What kind of fact is this? Personal, universal, or general? Personal, universal, or general? Universal. Very nice. Very nice. The Taj Mahal is in Agra. Universal, general. Universal or general? क्वालिफाई तो दोनों केस में हो जाएगा. लाइक ऑफ कोर्स क्वालिफाई दोनों केस में होगा, लेकिन ये अर्थ के अंदर ही रहेगा. आप समझिए क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं. यूनिवर्सल कंटेक्स्ट क्या बनेगा? बिकॉज ये अर्थ के अंदर की बात हो रही है, अर्थ के बाहर की बात नहीं हो रही है. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज मोर ऑफ अ जनरल फैक्ट. ऑलराइट, वेरी नाइस. नेक्स्ट, आई लव माय मदर. It is a personal fact. Okay, when I say I love my mother, like, is it a personal fact for you or for me? When I tell this to you, is it a personal fact for you or me? Okay, wow. So you all mean to say that maybe I don't like my mother, I don't love my mother. All right. Thank God I didn't say it for my wife. You guys could have given me a divorce directly. All right. My wife, she just got saved by you. That's what you call a personal fact. It is a fact for me, not for you all. All right. So this is what you call premise. Second part of The argument is, or I'll write third part, not second. We'll shift to second part after we done the third part. So conclusion. The third part of the argument is conclusion. It is the final point in a line of reasoning. It is the final point in line of reasoning. It is that part in an argument where mistakes are made. In majority of CAT questions, the critical reasoning questions, the flaw in the argument, it generally comes in the last part, that is the conclusion part. So जो भी errors होंगे question में, जो भी question में twist होंगे, इसमें होंगे, premise पे नहीं होते हैं. Premise एक base है, it is clear that it cannot be subjected to dispute. So you cannot change the premise, you cannot change the subject. But yes, the problems in the critical reasoning question, they mainly come in the conclusion part, which is the last part, which is the final part of an argument. It is the reason why the argument began. It is the reason why the argument began. It is the reason why we established an argument. Argument क्यों शुरू किया था? क्योंकि ये बताना था. Because we had to tell this, that is why we had to begin the argument. Example, premise. This person was found with the murder weapon in his hand. He was convicted by the police near the crime scene. When his personal history was explored, it was found he had some bad blood with the person who died. Did you understand the premise? I'm telling you a case. Did you all understand the premise? All of you, just give me a yes. Come on, say yes at least. Now, you all tell me what will be the conclusion. That is why, Your Honor, I would like to say that this person is who is he? Complete the sentence. All of you, just add the word here, at least culprit, guilty of murder, murderer. All right. Okay. Now, are you all able to connect the first part premise with the conclusion? Yes or no? Do you understand that now the conclusion becomes the final point in the line of argument? And for that, we have given a premise, a healthy premise. We have given a set of proofs, evidences. Is it clear to all of you now? ऐसे एक argument को establish करते हैं. Personal life में भी क्या अपने सारे arguments को ऐसे हम deal कर सकते हैं? Just a question I'm asking you. Do you believe in the personal life, like we can deal all the arguments in our personal life with our parents, with our beloved, with our X and Y and Z, with our teachers, like this? Yes or no? Just asking you all, just in a light mood, I'm asking you all. All of them are saying no. All of you are emotional people, no? Okay, I understand. Let's not become the Raju Rastogi of Three Idiots. Okay, बड़ी मुश्किल से ये एटीट्यूड आया है. ठीक है, अब इसका बीच का पार्ट है assumption. So there is one part we had left, that is the second part of the argument, is called assumption. When I said about the premise में क्या होता है आपको? These are set of stated facts. इसको mark कर लीजिएगा. Premise is always given. You can mark this, underline this part. Premise is a set of stated facts. That means these set of facts are given, they are visible in a question. And the assumption is just the opposite. These are facts which are not given. These are set of unstated facts. In order to set the conclusion of an argument true as true, the assumption on which the conclusion is based must also be true. Must also be true. There is a missing link between the premise and the conclusion. Now, पहले ये पढ़ लीजिए आप लोग. Set of unstated facts. In order to set the conclusion of an argument as true, the assumption on which the conclusion is based must also be true. You all are from engineering background, right? Are you all from the engineering background? Yes or no? Yes. मैथ्स का एक बेसिक फंडा है. जब हम कोई भी फिगर नहीं जानते हैं तो एल्जेब्रिक एक्सप्रेशन ने सिखाया है, लेट्स अज्यूम x is equal to 10. Do you recall the high school class, the class 9, the class 7, 8? And the first time you were taught algebra? When was the first time you learned algebra? In which class? Tell me the class. Class 4, 5, 6. What was the first class when you realized that you are actually studying algebra? Class 6. Srijal says class 6. Jatin says 8. Pratik says 6. Kaustubh says 5. Okay. So do you realize that we assume x is equal to 10 or 20, any figure? Yes or no? While studying ratio and proportion, we always assume x is equal to 10. And then somehow, by taking the assumption as the fact, we arrive onto a conclusion that is the answer. याद आ रहा है कुछ? LHS is equal to RHS? All of you, tell me yes or no. You assume that x is equal to 10 for the moment at least. And then you all arrive onto the conclusion by proving that LHS is equal to RHS. Very nice. So assumption is set of unstated facts. Now I'll prove it to you. This is the argument we are having. This is the argument. Premise is given to you all. Conclusion is given to you all. Probably this argument is established by an established lawyer, an accomplished lawyer. All right. Now I will give you the missing link. We'll write the assumption. Now, this is the assumption of the lawyer who said that, Your Honor, this person is guilty. Now, do you think that the assumption, this part, actually connects this and this? Yes or no? Why this lawyer is saying, and why is he setting the premise, and why is he saying guilty? Because this lawyer believes, it is very obvious for this lawyer that he believes that whoever is nearby the crime scene and is found with a murder weapon should be charged immediately and should be declared guilty without immediate thought. Do you feel, all of you, that the assumption connects the premise and the conclusion? Yes or no? Just say yes, I have to move ahead. Very nice. Okay, very nice. Good. I'll have more questions tomorrow. इस part से clear हो गया? How do we establish an argument? How do we set premise, then conclusion, and then we find the assumption? All of you, is it clear? This part is clear now? I have mentioned 3 parts of an argument: premise, assumption, conclusion. Let's know more about them. Critical reasoning becomes fun if we discuss the ideas. How many of you are from Kanpur? Just type me. Okay. So if I say this, if I say this to you, this is the premise. This is the premise. If you are ever planning a visit to Kanpur, if you are ever planning a visit to Kanpur from Lucknow, the suggestion would be that you book an expensive ride. You book an expensive ride and hire a professional chauffeur. Hire a professional chauffeur. Premise kya hai? If you are ever planning a visit to Kanpur from Lucknow, my advice is you book an expensive ride and must hire a professional chauffeur or a driver. Conclusion, or else you will be dancing all the way. You will be dancing all the way. Premise, Kanpur, travel cab, expensive cab and chauffeur. Conclusion, you will be dancing all the way. Why exactly I said you'll be dancing all the way? What is the assumption here? What is the missing part here? Why am I saying this? Come on, tell me. The roads are not good. Condition of road is very poor. Jhalak says this. Nice. Okay. Roads are bad. Very nice. Okay. Let's make it a little more interesting. Let's have more romantic ideas. So let's see how creative you are with critical reasoning. All right. I'm doing this for fun, just to enable ideas. यही important part है critical reasoning में. फिर बाद में question जब आ जाएंगे तो बहुत problem हो जाएगी. इसलिए I'm trying to evolve with the idea. Okay, so imagine there is a dark room. There is a dark room. Light is almost not there, negligible, and it's very dim presence of light in the room. And there is a lady. She's dressed as a bride. In the central part of the room, the lady is sitting and she's dressed as the bride. And she's holding a mobile phone in her hand. She's holding a mobile phone in her hand. She's typing a message. She looks very aggressive. She looks aggressive and tears are flowing down her cheeks. Premise. It's a dark room. It's a dim, like light is very dim. No light is not there even. And in the central part of the room, there is a lady. She's dressed as the bride. She's sitting there and she is typing something on a mobile phone. And it seems that she is crying and tears are rolling down her cheeks. With this scene, with this imagination, how many conclusions you can draw? What exactly has happened with the girl? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many conclusions you can draw? Please list it down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many conclusions you can draw? I want to ask you. You all have to write and tell me what could have happened there. Kya hua hoga is case mein? What is happening? Like you have to define as a director. Tell me the conclusion. Like what are the possibilities? What could be happening with this girl, with this lady? Let's see how creative you are. She's pregnant with the baby of her ex-boyfriend. That is a very horrible conclusion. You watch too many of the movies, the typical student of the year shit. I'm very sure. Don't watch these movies here. She must have ran from her wedding and is trying to message a friend to pick her. That's nice. Best friend is not coming. Very nice. Jatin, this looks more like a professional comment, right? Good. Jatin Singh, very nice. Jatin Singhal, very bad. Okay, more. I want more conclusions. A healthy conclusion. So the best friend is not coming is one. Power failure in the city on the marriage day. So why would she cry for that? Why would she cry for the... Okay, she's worried. That's why she's crying. Kaustubh says power failure in the city on the marriage day. Okay. Point to be taken. Dark room. Point to be taken. Point to be taken. Okay, very nice. So we have 3 interesting conclusions. Taking one more, like horrible by Jatin Singhal makes it 4. She found out a horrible truth about the groom. They were... Okay, nice. Very nice. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, I can accept this. Any more horrible list of conclusions? Jhalak says, post marriage. Number 1, very nice. Number 2, husband is abusive. Okay. Something bad happened to her family. Very nice. Now, did you all see Jhalak, Jatin, someone special met with accident at the marriage day? Very nice. Now, these are possible conclusions that we can derive from this premise. I just give you a premise and you all have derived the conclusion. Her husband was shot dead. देवेश, सब ठीक हो जाएगा बेटा, परेशान मत हो, ये उम्र ही ऐसी होती है, कोई बात नहीं. I can understand your pain. All right. Are we all clear about the part of conclusion? All of you. Do you understand that premise and conclusion are interconnected? And if I ask you one question, everybody has given the conclusion as per their vision and their experience, and that is what you call their assumption. So when they are imagining this scene, they have different experience, so they have different assumption also. Somebody is telling husband मर गया है, गोली वोली मार दिया उसको, तो उसके मन में क्या चल रहा होगा, क्या पता मिर्जापुर देखता हो, गोलियां मारता हो सपने में. Are you getting my point? So do you believe that people have different assumptions to one situation? All of you, yes or no? When I say one premise is given to many, and many people they think differently, that is why they have different assumptions. To bring more clarity here, I'll refer to a sample argument. Read this. A girl said to a friend, see that boy and girl, they are holding hands, they must be committed to each other and must be in a relationship. Now, do you see that when this sample argument is given, this part is the premise and this part is the conclusion? All of you? Is it clear to all of you? The first part is the premise and the second part is the conclusion. Clear? Okay. Now, this is the assumption. Read the last one. In this case, when the girl says this, what? She says this. They must be committed to each other and must be in a relationship. When she says this girl, she says this. Why? Because she thinks this. Does the argument match now? Is the argument complete? In this case, the girl assumes that anyone who holds hands has to be a girlfriend or a boyfriend that is in a relationship. Not a wise assumption, is it? Does this complete the argument? Yes or no? I'll write this for you. Premise is the girl says, look at that boy and that girl, they are holding hands. They must be in a relationship. And the assumption is this girl believes that if a couple is holding hands, if couples they hold hands, holding hands, they are committed. Anyone who holds hands. Is it clear? Is the argument clear to all of you? Is the argument clear to all of you? Now, then we have the questions in the CAT where you have to strengthen an argument or you have to weaken the argument. अब CAT में क्वेश्चन कैसे आएगा? इस आर्ग्यूमेंट को स्ट्रेंथन करना है और इसको वीकन करना है. I told you, in order, क्या लिखा है मैंने? In order to prove, read this part, very important. In order to set the conclusion of an argument as true, the assumption must also be true. अगर आर्ग्यूमेंट को सही प्रूव करना है तो assumption को भी सही प्रूव करना पड़ेगा, तभी conclusion मैच करेगा. So if I ask you that if we have to strengthen or weaken this argument, which part of the argument should we attack? Should we attack on premise? Should we attack on the assumption? Or should we attack on the conclusion? All of you? The assumption. Okay? Now, can you just help me by adding one more sentence. All of you, can you help me by adding one more sentence to this part, which proves that this girl, she is right? Let's take the side of the girl. How can you prove this girl is right? Can you all give me a helping hand here by adding one more sentence? All of you, Jatin, Jhalak, can you all add one sentence to this argument which proves that this girl is right? Come on. I'm waiting for you all to write one sentence. So this proves that this girl is right. All committed couple, they hold hands. Girl and boy never hold hands in public unless they are in a relationship. My goodness, how experienced you are. Good. All committed couple, they hold hands. Okay. Girl and a boy never hold hands in public unless they are in a relationship. Anything else? Anything interesting which you can add? Anyone? I'm waiting for you all. So I'll write it here. Please give me more sentences to prove. It has been seen that couple hold hands only when they are this girl, she already knows that they are engaged. Anything else to add this? To add to this? All of you, just one sentence more, which proves that this girl is right. Can we add the boy proposed her a day before at the same place? Okay. They have been seen there very often. The girl must be their friend. ये तो हेल्प नहीं कर रहा है, तो वीकेंड कर देगा ना फिर अगर बोलेंगे तो. Okay, you mean to say that the girl is her friend, right? Okay. The girl knows the other girl. हाँ ठीक है, I have already mentioned that. ठीक है. Now, do you all feel that these statements are supporting the entire assumption? And now the assumption looks stronger. All of you, just say yes. And now the argument and the conclusion looks more promising. This comes out with flying colors. Now it is qualified. Yes or no? Yes, very nice. So now let's do one thing. Can we all help in weakening the ideas? Now you have to give me some ideas which go against this assumption. Give me some ideas which go against this. Now prove that this girl is wrong. She's stupid. Come on, 1, 2, 3 sentences. And whatever she thinks is wrong. Anyone? Any one sentence that proves that this girl is not thinking in the right direction. Can you add one sentence? Anyone? Best friends, they also hold hands in public. They are friends. They are good best friends. Nice. They are friends who are trying to help each other. Yes. Only holding hands does not justify any relationship. Maybe they are siblings. Maybe they are brother and sister. Okay. Now, do you think these ideas have weakened the entire assumption now? And if the assumption weakens, the girl in the past have been found spreading rumors for fun. Okay. This is also a nice one. Sejal. This girl, she just loves to gossip. and spread rumors for no reason. Now, do you think all these that actually happens? Okay. Now, do you think all these reasons they have now attacked the assumption, and now the assumption looks weak? And now, if the assumption looks weak, we cannot arrive on to this conclusion. Do you all copy? Yes or no? If these assumptions are weak, we cannot arrive onto this part of the conclusion. That's what we call strengthening and weakening an argument. Is it clear to all of you? Now, is this part clear? How do you weaken? How do you strengthen an argument? Yes or no? Chali. Very nice. Some very important things to be noted down. Just say. Very important part is this. Please note these things down. How do you identify a premise? How do you identify a premise? Please copy the slide. Copy or take a screenshot and then type done. Please type done. Words that indicate that this is the premise. Please copy this. When you weaken an argument, when you strengthen an argument, these are the right words that indicate that this argument is now being strengthened or being weakened. Please copy and type done. Okay, so let's start with the question answer round. Okay. First question. Now, if you see carefully, we have two statements here. Bicycles are safer than scooters. This is statement one. And the second is 50% of scooter accidents result in death, while only 10% of bicycle accidents result in death. There is statement one. And then there is statement two, this one. Which of these is the conclusion and the premise? Is statement one the premise or the conclusion? Is statement one the premise or the conclusion? Yes, the answer is statement one is the conclusion and statement two is the premise. Good. Very nice. Which of the following, if true, would most seriously weaken the argument above? Now, if you have to weaken the argument and the argument says that bicycles are safer, so in the weakening part, you'll have to identify that bicycles are not safer. They're dangerous. So now what is the answer? Find out. Jatin Singh says E, B भी आ गया, C भी आ गया, D भी आ गया, E भी आ गया, तो सारे आंसर हो जाएंगे सब. अब A बचा रह गया है. I hope somebody is not willing to say A. Is this like the subject of the argument? It happens to be bicycle and scooter and the accidents and the death. Okay. Have they given any reason? Is pillion the right word to be used here in this argument? In the passage, in the paragraph, have they ever mentioned, in the these two lines, have they ever mentioned pillion? Can E be the answer? No. All right. Option number D. Scooter accidents are generally the fault of car owners who bang into them and not those of the ones driving the scooters. Is this anyhow strengthening the argument or weakening it? Is it weakening or strengthening? Bachcho, is it weakening or strengthening or doing nothing? See, is this mentioned anywhere? Is this the part of premise anyhow? क्या fault premise है? क्या fault की बात हो रही है ऊपर? Premise से खिलवाड़ नहीं कर सकते. You cannot put the premise subject to dispute. That is why the fault is not the right answer. And even if it is, in that case, this statement is strengthening the argument, not weakening the argument. So D is not the answer. Can option A be the answer? Can option A be the answer? बच्चों? No. A is simply out of question, so A is not the answer. Now we are left with B and C. Put your bet again, B and C. B. Why not C? C. The bicycle owners, they don't stop on traffic lights. That does not prove that they are meeting the accidents ahead. This will not prove their fate with the accidents. All right. And that is why C is not the right answer. B states that if the number of bicycle owners, bicycle accidents, it is several 100,000 times higher. So for example, scooter accidents are, let's suppose, are 1,000. Deaths are how many? 500, because 50% is there. And in case of bicycle, there is 1 lakh, there is 1 lakh accidents. How many? 10,000 deaths. So that is why we have just proven that answer is B. The bicycle accidents are way more dangerous and they are higher in count. So bicycles are not safe. Is the answer clear to all of? Is the answer clear to all of you? ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Doubts any? कोई doubt तो नहीं है आपको? But sir, if pillions not there on bicycle mean people are dying, but let's ask they don't carry pillions. ये जीके बन जाएगा ना फिर तो, ये तो आ जाएगा आपका कॉमन सेंस. बट क्या पिलियन जो है इस पार्ट में इन्वॉल्व है? अब पिलियन के अलावा मैं बोल दूंगा बाइसिकल में हॉर्न, मैं अगले ऑप्शन नंबर एफ लगाता हूं. इसके आगे ऑप्शन नंबर एफ बोलता है those bicycles that come with monkeys with horns are also very dangerous. Now will this become right? Yes, that is why I'm saying that you cannot put the premise to dispute. And ऊपर numbers की बात हो रही है, B में number दिया गया है. That is why I'm saying it is very closely connected and it sounds logical. Good. Next question. 2 minutes. So the world-renowned painter recently won a lawsuit against an ice cream manufacturer for commiserating another graphic designer to design the ice cream's packing in a style similar to the painter. एक बहुत मशहूर पेंटर का डिजाइन कॉपी कर लिया किसी आइसक्रीम कंपनी वाले ने, और उसके बाद उस डिजाइन को लोकल ग्राफिक डिजाइनर की हेल्प से अपने आइसक्रीम की बॉटल पे, मग्स पे ड्रॉ कर लिया. पेंटर ने केस कर दिया और वो केस जीत गया. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ द जजमेंट ऑफ द केस, now the manufacturers will have to stop asking the local graphic designers now to copy the freely available design of the famous painter. Mark the word, freely available designs of the famous painter. And the end result will be an increase. Mark the word, B is missing there. Will be an increase in the cost of package design, as employing the services of known artists would cost more than those of graphic designer that merely imitate their style. So the ice cream price has just gone up. The Baskin Robbins cup, which was worth ₹50, will be now available at 70, because the Baskin Robbins logo, it has been copied by a famous painter, from a famous painter, without his permission. So now the question is asking you, the above conclusion is based on which of the following assumptions? Now you said E. You all said E. Have they ever mentioned that sale is how much? Have they mentioned about a sale anywhere? Is the crux matter जो है, the crux of the matter, is it sale or is it the increase in the cost? It's increase in the cost. So sale is not the right subject here, the premise here. That is why they mention cost. Okay. So E is out of question. First you decide the cost and then you go out for sale. All right, for the sale. So E is out of question. What about option number C? Do you think it's relevant? And is it an assumption? All of you? Do you think option number C is the right assumption? No. So again, out of question. Do you think option number A is the right assumption? People cannot distinguish. It hardly matters. The court has said. So option A is out of question. Now option number B and option D. Can D be a possibility? Because ऊपर कह रहा है manufacturers will have to stop asking. Now can they afford to go to jail? Can they afford to go to jail now? If you mark option D correct, the answer is no. No. If this happens, they go to jail. So the answer is option number B. Manufacturers will continue to use well-known painting styles in their packaging with their due permission, and they'll be paid for it. So once they pay, once they employ the services of known artists, that will add to the cost, and they will continue to use these well-known painting styles. And that is why the ice cream cost it increases. Is it clear to all of you? Next question. Very easy question. B. Simple. Navneet Pencils manufacturer and sells the same pencil as Camlin does, just to give an edge of competition. Now Navneet is trying to reduce the employee wages, and they believe that the employee wages, if they go down, that will reduce the cost and that will help them with profit, and thereby they'll be able to give tough competition to Camlin in terms of profit. But Navneet Pencil's decision can go wrong if the lowering wages would reduce the quality of employee work, and thereby it leads to lowering sales. अगर पेंसिल की जो है क्वालिटी खराब हो जाएगी, सेल्स नहीं होगी. So the answer is B. Are we clear, all of you? कोई डाउट तो नहीं है? Simple question, simple answer. Doubts any, बच्चों? No? Question number 4. Okay. Yes, the answer is option E. The writer says that writers must exercise their craft with an eye to the practical utility, like how commercially you can involve your skill. And that is why he is not willing to call writing an art, which means option number E, an object is not an art if its maker pays attention to the object's practical utility. Simple. Clear to all of you? Question 5. Easy question, easy answer. The cost of retail jewelry made with silver other than gold has not yet fallen. It will inevitably fall. That means it will fall for sure. Now you have to find the right subject. See, in option number A, changes in retail prices always lag behind. It is talking only about the retail prices. It does not talk about the silver. Prices of gold is not a subject. Operating cost of average retail jewelry, again silver word is missing here. Cost of mining all expensive metals, again the word silver is missing here. Yes, answer E is the right answer. Cost of processing silver has increased during the last year. That is why it will not fall, because you have to weaken the argument. Answer is option number E. Just give me a clear head, yes or no. Should I proceed? All clear? Okay. Next question. Take 2 minutes. So the physician says that the prime reason that causes heart attacks is when people they increase their exercise suddenly. And the last line says, as a result, there will be an increased risk of heart attack among employees of this company due to the new health program. So the new health program, it possesses a risk of heart attacks. Why heart attack? And the answer is, of course, option number A, because employees will abruptly increase their amount of exercise. That is the only reason. Question number 7. Very easy question, absolutely easy answer. One line में answer आना चाहिए इसका. Large governmental job training programs do not meet the short-term needs of different individual companies. I think there should be no doubt about the question. The right answer is option number D. Simple. The answer is given in the question itself. Are we all clear about the question? Should I proceed? Yes or no, बच्चों? ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Question number 8. 2 minutes. Easy question, but the options are tricky. ध्यान देना. Time is up. Answers, please. Some are saying E, some are saying D. This foreign travel from Britain. It talks about the foreign travel from Britain. If it says from Britain, that means people who are the Britishers, they travel abroad. So in this case, is option number B, this language C? Is it correct? Travel to Britain? Is option B correct? No. If it had been less expensive 30 years ago, British people would still not have had enough money. But this is going against the statement. It is against what the above paragraph is. So not the answer. B is wrong language. 30 years ago must have spent more money on domestic. This is not the right context. Context is wrong. Now, D and E very close fight, but E, it actually confuses you. It does not give the right answer. Right answer is D. If more of the British people 30 years ago had had enough money to vacation, more would have done so. Simple. Doubts any? Question number 9. 2 minutes. Answers. Now, do you recall this question takes you back to the school life where some unique content creation was there by the teachers. They used to, tell some different lectures, give some projects to you, creative assignments. And because these assignments, they required more creativity, some people, they took it up. They consume the idea. So some people, they take idea anyways. And some will never take any idea like what is the idea all about. They'll never take interest. But looking at these two options, the writer simply said that the purpose of grade therefore serves no essential academic purpose. यानी कि academic purpose के लिए grades useless है. And the argument says it has a flaw because writer has failed to consider one category of children. It actually fails to consider one thought, and that is why it is not the right argument. Argument has a flaw. It is not complete. A, B, and C are totally off the context, irrelevant. D and E, as you are suggesting. Is D one-sided? Is it a biased choice? D, yes or no? When they say that the children should be free to choose their own curriculum material, see, the curriculum material has to be given by the teacher, and that is given just to lure for the grace marks, for the marks. So the curriculum material has to be given by the teacher, not by the student himself or herself. In this way, D falls out of the category of the question. It has changed the premise now. From the given premise, we only have one answer, that is option number E, that the question, the argument in the writer fails to consider that some students may neither be fascinated or completely indifferent to the subject being taught or the curriculum material. The mediocres are always so full in this kind of class. Do you all believe that mediocres, they always had fun, they always had a ball? So backbenchers were extreme and the front rowers were like best people, but the average students, they have the highest count in a classroom. Do you all agree? Yes or no? So that is why in this argument, the writer fails to consider that there's a third category which does not fall under this category, and that is why this argument cannot be completely true, because there is a third category of children who are neither fascinated nor completely indifferent. They are somewhere in the between. Answer is option number E. बच्चों, is it clear? आगे बढ़े. Next question, easy question. So after decreasing 25% of the manpower, 15% is decreased, 10% is still pending. So which option do we find the 10% remaining? Yes, they were shifted to other divisions. Great. Easy question. Question number 11, 2 minutes. Interesting question. And remember, this question where they mention the flaw in the argument, again, understand, writer's conclusion is this. You don't have to agree with that. You say the conclusion is not what it sees here, but something else. Something is missing, and that missing part is the flaw here. Same to that question. 2 minutes you have. Okay. Yes. So the coffee may be harmful to one's health in some aspect and beneficial to others. Clear to all of you? Next question. Question 12. This question is tricky, so don't give the answer just like that. Read again. I'll recommend you read the question again, twice at least, giving you at least 2 more minutes to read the question. So we have answer as B, we have C from Prakar Katiyar, then we have E also as the answer. Okay. E also as the answer by Devesh. Okay. Now see, the mystery stories often feature a brilliant detective and the detective's dull companion. Clues are presented in the story and the companion wrongly infers an inaccurate solution. If you read carefully option number E, is E the right language? Just study again. It says detective's dull companion in a mystery story generally uncovers the misleading clues. All of you, please read this. Is this the right language? Are the clues misleading? ऊपर लिखा हुआ है कहीं पर. Is it mentioned that the clues are misleading? Because if we follow E says कि clues wrong है. And the passage is saying that clues are given, but the dull companion, he misleads. All of you, please understand the criticality here. Do you think that the option in option number E is right? बच्चों, क्या E का option, E में जो language है समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Not right. Jatin says not right. बाकी सब लोग को लग रहा है कि not right है? All of you? बच्चों, because it is saying misleading clues. ऊपर clues are not misleading. The dull companion, he misleads. He understands the wrong inference. Yes, thank you. God bless you all. So option E is not the answer. That is why. Checking it off. Okay. Then we have is option number A anyhow correct? Is it complete? No, option number A is not complete in nature. It misses the point. Not the answer. Mystery readers often solve the mystery in a story simply by spotting the mistakes. Do you really solve a mystery? Do they tell you? According to the passage, do we really, we as in the viewer, the readers, do we really solve the mystery? As per the passage, does the reader solve the mystery? Yes or no? नहीं कर पाते हैं ना. No, we cannot. That is why the answer is not B. अब बचा रहा है C and D. Place your bet. C or D again. Pratik says C, Yatin says C, Shil says C, Naman says C. The answer is option number C. Some mystery stories give readers enough clues to infer correct solutions to the mystery. Yes, you will be given enough clues to refer to a situation. And D talks about something else. It's completely irrelevant. So the question is 12 and the answer is option number C. Clear to all of you? Okay, you mean to say the word some, it gets stuck somehow. तो ऊपर कह तो रहा है often feature. Look at this. और नीचे अगर some बोला है, यहाँ क्या लिखा हुआ है? Often feature. All right. Do you match the context now? So if it says some mystery stories give readers enough clues to infer the correct solution to the mystery. Right? Most oftenly, some mystery stories, a majority of nahi, some mystery stories. All right, and the question says which of the following is strongly supported by the information above. नीचे वाला कौन सा स्टेटमेंट लॉजिकली सपोर्ट कर रहा है? बस लॉजिकली सपोर्ट कर रहा है, लॉजिकली ओनली सी सपोर्ट कर रहा है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. Take 2 minutes. In speech, when words or sentences are ambiguous like confusing, not clear, gesture and tone of voice are used to indicate the intended meaning. This statement reminds me of Mr. Amit Shah. Do you feel this when I say this? And Mr. Gandhi also. That when words or sentences are ambiguous, gesture and tone of voice are used to indicate the intended meaning. Do you agree if I say that the statement reminds me of Amit Shah and Rahul Gandhi? Do you agree with this? They express more from their body, and words they might fall short for them. Writers, of course, cannot use gestures or tone of voice and must rely completely on style. The reader detects the writer's intention from the arrangement of words and sentences. Which one of the following statements is most strongly supported by the information above? Is option B strongly supported or option B already given in the paragraph? Bachon, is option B already given in the paragraph or it actually supports? Bachon, I'm asking you all, is option number C really a different sentence or it is already given? When it is already given, why it will strongly support? It's already mentioned in the paragraph. So B is not the answer. We have A, C, D and E. D and E are off context. We have only A and C now. D and E are off context. E बोल रहा है arrangement determines the aesthetics of writing. So the arrangement of words, sentences completely determines the aesthetics of writing. It's not talking about the aesthetics of writing. It's talking about speech, how you justify your speech, how you make them clear what you want to say or you want to tell. What do you think? So E is not the answer. Answer is option number C. It is easier for a listener to detect the tone of a speaker than for a reader to detect the style of the writer. ऊपर लिखा है ना, writer of course cannot use gesture or tone of voice. In speech, when words or sentences are ambiguous, gesture and tone of voice are used to indicate the intended meaning, and the writers cannot use that. They can only have arrangement of words. All right. So it is easier to understand a speaker than a writer. Only answer we have is option number C. Next question. How does it imply easier? Question is strongly supports. Question is not to assume. Question says how does it strongly support? The word aesthetics means beauty, order. If you see Naman, I'll mark it for you. See here. So the reader detects the writer's intention from the arrangement of words. Detects. All right. यहाँ पर intended meaning is clear. यहाँ पर the user, he gets the meaning first hand. All right. Here, the writer has to rely only on one particular style. He cannot switch. And then they ask you what strongly supports. All right. This statement strongly supports. Why? Because it takes less time for a listener to detect the tone of a speaker than for a reader to detect the style of the writer. That supports. Question number 14. Next question. Last question of this activity. Easy question. Just have to mark the premise and the conclusion. All of you. Just mark the premise and the conclusion. See, because the second sentence we have a thus. And thus refers to when it is a conclusion. So sentence, it begins with bureaucratic mechanisms are engineered to resist change. That looks more or less like a premise, which is offered as a claim for the second sentence, in which they start with thus. That is why, despite growing dissatisfaction with complex and bureaucratic systems, it is unlikely that anything will change or will be simplified. So option A is the answer. A is the answer. The option 1 is premise. offered in support of the claim. Is it clear to all of you? So, is this question clear to all of you? Yes or no? All of you, please answer the question. Is the question clear? Yes or no?